Hi, my name is Kat Bodden. I'm a naturopathic doctor and the owner of Sea Change Medicine in Portland, Oregon. Today I'm going to talk to you about some of my favorite lifestyle tips to support memory and brain health. Over 7 million Americans are diagnosed with Alzheimer's or another type of dementia, and this number is actually expected to triple by 2050. The average age in which someone begins to lose their memory is about 57, but I have people in their 20s and their 30s with memory issues, brain fog, morning fatigue, grogginess, and this has actually increased a lot after the pandemic. Someone with mild cognitive impairment is at a 40% increased risk of developing Alzheimer's or another type of dementia, so it's incredibly important that we identify and treat this early. So now I want to talk to you about a few things that affect our brain health. How many of you have heard of the glymphatic system? It's okay if you haven't. It's a relatively new concept that was only discovered a little over 10 years ago. The glymphatic system is our lymph in our brain. It acts as our brain's sanitation workers and kind of cleans up the garbage while we're sleeping. While we're asleep, our brain actually shrinks and the whole brain is washed with cerebrospinal fluid that then drains back into the lymph and so it can leave our body. Things like toxins, metabolic byproducts, and cellular waste are cleaned up. This is how our brain keeps disease and neurological degeneration at bay. Because what happens if it's not functioning correctly? These toxins build up, and these can cause memory issues, fatigue, irritability, and even Alzheimer's. Yep, Alzheimer's is caused by the buildup of something called beta amyloid plaques. And beta amyloid is one of these toxins that the glymphatic system cleans up. Let me ask you a question. Is this true? Cognitive decline is a normal sign of aging and there's nothing you can do about it. Nope, this is completely false. And in terms of doing something about it, lifestyle is so much more important than genetics. Genetics, the cards we're dealt in life, they really only account for about 5 to 10% of our health. This means that 90 to 95% of our health we can control. Let me walk you through some of my favorite tips to support optimal brain health. The first is to order correct lab testing. This is so we can identify and treat the cause, not just play whack-a-mole with symptoms. Is it heavy metal toxicity? Is it chronic infections? Is it a metabolic condition like diabetes? Is it a TBI? When we can treat the cause, this is what leads to lasting healing. The second tip is to give our brain optimal nutrition. These are things like choline, which we can get from liver and egg yolks, or you can supplement with something like choline SR. Omega-3 fatty acids from deep sea fish like herring, mackerel, sardines, and you can supplement with something like the omega-3 phospholipid with superba krill oil. And we want to give our brain a lot of antioxidants. These are found in brightly colored fruits and vegetables, and they're so important for brain health and detoxification. So those are some things to include. I also want to touch on some things to avoid. These are things that are really inflammatory to the brain and can cause problems. These are things like processed seed oils, refined grains, and added sugar. As much as possible, I advocate for eating food that comes from a farm, not a factory. Always read your labels and be sure to avoid anything that you can't pronounce. My third tip involves hydration. It's so important that we drink enough water, especially first thing in the morning. Remember how I said that our brain shrinks overnight when we're asleep? Actually shrinks 60%. And drinking a big glass of water first thing in the morning is the best thing we can do to rehydrate our brain, help with early morning cognition, and decrease brain fog. So I recommend at night before you go to bed, just leave a glass of water at your nightstand. That way, when you wake up, you see it first thing in the morning and you can drink it down. If you exercise, live in a warm climate, or sweat a lot, it's also important to replenish yourself with electrolytes as we lose these during sweating. I love Electrolytes SR from Endurance Products because it offers a continuous release of electrolytes, things like phosphorus, magnesium, sodium, and chloride. My fourth tip involves reducing toxins. Heavy metals, industrial chemicals, plastics, cleaning products. If that sounds like a lot, it's because it is. These are just a few of the toxins that invade our bodies and can negatively affect our brain and nervous system. So much of my work with my clients involves reducing toxin exposure, detoxing what we've already accumulated, and making safer, healthier choices for the products we use in and around our bodies. My fifth tip is movement. Exercise is so good for the body and the brain in particular because it supports healthy blood flow. It also is associated with feelings of positivity and well-being. Bonus points if you move your body outside and with friends. And my last tip is all about getting adequate sleep. Sleep is so important because it's where our brain's detoxification occurs. It's important for memory consolidation, immune health, and so many other things. If our sleep is impaired, our lymphatic system is unable to clean up the brain, and those toxins accumulate and can make us feel sick. When we don't get enough sleep, our lymphatic system is impaired and toxins accumulate, which can lead to neurodegenerative disease, fatigue, and memory issues. Okay, so those are my top 6 tips for brain health. If you'd like to learn more or you have any questions, please go ahead and schedule a free discovery call with me on the website. Thanks!